Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to yet another super cool, super awesome, and absolutely amazing session on digestion and absorption. I hope you can hear me, see the screen. Is everything clear and proper to everyone? Yes? Oh. Guys, what happened? Guys, am I clear? Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone? Yes? Yes? 1 second, we would begin right now. Yes. Okay. I hope all the students who have given me promise the previous day is right now in front of the screens on the chat box for attending this supremely amazing lecture on digestion and absorption of food. Fine, everyone. Yes. If guys, I hope I'm audible. My screen is clear. Yes. And one thing, if the screen appears black or if it is not visible or am I not audible to you, please as fast as comment me on the chat box. Okay, Nila Calvin? Fine. Yes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave the comment in the wonderful channel of BioPoint, Stream the World of Bio. Starting with today's class. Okay, so today's absolute topic is digestion of food. Okay, digestion of food. Moving on with the chapter. Digestion is the conversion of complex. Digestion is the conversion of complex insoluble food materials into simple absorbable form. Yes, Pratipha, good morning. If you have any doubt, just ask me. Okay, free to ask. Just ask me right now when any doubts arises. So, digestion is the conversion of complex insoluble food materials into simple absorbable form. Yes, we already studied about different things, different processes involved in this particular process. That is, one is digestion. First one starting with ingestion, that is intake of food, then digestion, then absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Yes, all these are the different. Yes, Raman, good morning. Yes, it includes certain mechanical processes. So digestion process includes certain mechanical processes such as mastication. Okay, mastication, deglutition, and peristalsis. Three different processes: mastication, deglutition, and peristalsis are three different mechanical processes which are involved under the process of digestion. Guys, simply mastication means chewing of food. Deglutition means swallowing of food. Peristalsis, it is a wave-like rhythmic movement of the food bolus. Guys, what is bolus? Bolus is the food that enters the esophagus. So the food that enters the as bolus. 1 second. Guys, how many of you are here? How many of you are here on the chat box? Yes. Tell me who all are there listening in the class. No one? No one in the class? Yes. Are you all understanding? So bolus is the food type that enters the esophagus. Guys, Have you all seen the PDF of chemistry chapter number 1, previous year 26 previous year question? Previous 26 years NEET and AIPMT questions I pasted in the group in the morning. Have you all seen that? Have you all seen that? I hope you might have seen it. Some basic concept of chemistry. So I need an answer from you. That is, when are you going to complete that 40 questions of that chapter? That 26 previous years, 40 questions were asked, and I want an answer when you are going to complete that 40 questions of the chapter. Yes, because only after you complete, I strictly want each one of you to do that. Each one of you must do that 40, 41, or 42 questions of the first chapter of chemistry. Yes, every year we would get at least 2 or maximum 3 questions from that chapter directly. So if you do the previous 26 years, definitely you might have scored a right marks for that, plus 4 marks for the correct answer for the questions coming from that chapter. So when are you all going to finish it? When are you all going to finish it? When are you all going to finish that questions? So that only after that I would give you. I have physics materials also like this, biomaterials also like this. Okay. For bio, we are introducing a new thing if time permits. Okay. How many of you have seen the PDF of digestion of food I have pasted in the group? I think, yes, 35 questions, 30 or 35 questions I just shared with you. So I all I wanted all of you to do that questions today itself, because most probably we would complete the chapter and we would be discussing the 30-35 questions in the class. After that only I'll be giving you MCQs for your practice, so that you will be able to know in which area you are weak, in which area you have to read more, work more. Okay, fine. I'll be able to correct you. So the guys, back to the class. The type of food that enters the esophagus, you will call it as bolus, and the type of food going into the small intestine after mixing in the stomach, you will call it as chyme. After all digestive processes in the stomach, the food material that enters the small intestine, you will call it as the chyme. No one have answered me. When are you going to complete your chemistry? Chapter number 1. When are you all going to complete your chemistry? We have day in front of us. We have days in front of us to take a chapter for a day and do the previous year questions right now. Tell me a time when you are going to complete it. I'll take the majority timing, and after that I'll give you the OMR sheet exam. Okay, Pradipa is telling tomorrow. What about Dima, Nila, Raman, Little Explorer, Calvin? Yes, today itself. You can take as much as time. It will be best if you finish it by today night before going to your bed. What about others? What about Nila, Dima, everyone? Calvin, Raman, Little Explorer. When are you all going to complete the chemistry 40 questions that I shared? Pradeepa, can you also do it for today? So that chapter would of chemistry would be best clear for you. Okay? Because after this class, from 10 a.m. onwards, you are completely free. Yes? You're having a class only at 4:45 in the evening today. Am I right? Yes? Okay, just try to complete. No issue if you cannot complete due to some issues over there. Please try to complete it today itself. So I hope these 2 points are clear. Peristalsis is a rhythmic wave-like movement of the food or the bolus through the gut by the muscular contraction and relaxation of the esophagus. Next, we are going into detail about, yes, Rajagopal, yes, good morning. Next, we are going to move in detail about the digestion of food. And first, we have our buccal cavity, right? We are taking in the food through the mouth. So, mouth is the buccal cavity. I hope you all have the breakfast. The girl is eating the lunch. Yes, on the diagram, on the picture. Yes. I hope you all had the breakfast for today. Yes. Back to the class. So, in the buccal cavity, only starch digestion begins. We already studied in the first class there are different nutrients present in the food. That is, we have carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water, roughage, so many of nutrients. What happened? No breakfast till 9? Your breakfast time is going to arrive only. No eating in the class. Okay. Yes. So in the buccal cavity, only starch digestion begins. Yes, roughage is fibers. Okay. In the buccal cavity, only starch digestion begins, even if our food contains vitamins, proteins, whatever, fats also, only in our mouth starch digestion begins. Why? Only in our mouth starch digestion is taking place because the enzyme to digest starch or carbohydrate is only present inside our mouth. Okay. There is no protein digesting enzyme present in our mouth. There is no fat digesting enzyme present in our mouth. Only a starch digesting enzyme or a carbohydrate digesting enzyme present in our mouth. And that enzyme, you will call it as the salivary amylase or talin. So the liquid coming out from your mouth, that is never the salivary amylase, that you will call it as saliva. The saliva contains the enzyme called the salivary amylase or talin. Clear, everyone? Okay. So talin or salivary amylase. And what is it? This is very important, guys. Whatever we are discussing today are previous year question. Each slide carries previous year question. Okay. Each slide has previous year question. So talin, salivary amylase, it converts a starch. Actually, starch is a polysaccharide that converts the starch into disaccharide. So salivary amylase converts starch into maltose or isomaltose. This table is very important, guys. You have to, instead of studying, especially NEET students, also focusing only on NEET, okay, such kinds of students have to study these easy tricks like the table and all instead of by hearting this entire sentence or paragraphs. Okay, so you have to study polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are converted into disaccharides by the action of salivary amylase. About 30% of the starch is digested by talin, or it is also known as salivary amylase. Clear, everyone? Clear? You have to study. So what are the important things over here? What are the important things that you have to study in this particular slide is in the digestion in the buccal cavity. We are discussing about the digestion in the buccal cavity. There only starch digestion begins. Then an enzyme called a talin or salivary amylase converts polysaccharide starch into disaccharides. Guys, I'm highlighting the important points. Okay, about 30% of the starch is digested by talin. About 30% of starch is digested by talin. This is actually at least 20 times repeated MCQ. 20 times repeated MCQ question. Okay, how much percentage of starch is digested in the buccal cavity? It is 30%. Simply you have to study, and this is also an important question. The pH of our buccal cavity, the pH of our buccal cavity is 6.8. 6.8. Is this acidic or basic? Tell me, is it acidic or basic? Is it acidic or basic? The pH of our buccal cavity. Is it acidic or basic? Tell me. Tell me fast. The pH 6.8 is the pH of our buccal cavity. Is it acidic or basic? 7 is a neutral pH. So below 7 it is acidic. Below 7 it is acidic. Above 7 it is basic. So 6.8 is a value which is very close to 7. 6.8 is a value which is very close to 7. So the acidity, so the pH of our buccal cavity is slightly acidic. No one has used the term. I hope 2 or 3 people might have used this term. It is slightly acidic. Slightly acidic in nature. Okay, not highly acidic. It is slightly acidic in nature. Okay, I hope 2 or 3 students. Guys, no need of retracting the messages. No need of retracting. If you are telling able to explain you the correct answer, or else I'd be thinking that you know the answer and I'll be moving a bit faster. Yes, Rajagopal. Yes, little explorer. No need. Just be free. Just be free to ask your doubts, to express your comments in the class. Okay. Next one is the digestion in the stomach. Next one is the digestion in the stomach. Stomach stores food for maximum of 4 to 5 hours. That is why your belly, you will be telling that my belly is feeling full after meals. Yes, the food will be stored in your stomach completely for 4 to 5 hours. And what all changes are happening when the food is inside the stomach? It is mixed with the gastric juice. What is gastric juice? Gastric juice contains certain enzymes that are produced by the stomach. This is an enzyme or a substance that is produced by the stomach. So by the churning movement of the stomach and is converted into acidic pastry form that is known as the chyme. I already explained, when the food is in the esophagus, you will call it as bolus. When the food is in the stomach, you will call it as the acidic pastry form, which is called the chyme. Guys, tell me, we already studied that there are certain invagination. Yes, we studied. There are certain invaginations in the stomach. Yes, these are the invagination. These invaginations in the stomach, what you will call? Anyone? Invaginations present in the stomach is known as. Yes, absolutely, Rajagopal. It is rugae. Others, nobody knows the answer. It is rugae, guys. Rugae, I explained. And guys, tell me what is the function of this rugae. What is the function of rugae? Yes, anyone? Function rugae. Yes, at this chancel, you have to give me the answer. Yes. Guys, rugae helps in increasing the surface area of the stomach. Increasing. Absolutely, Rajagopal. Very good. Where are the others in the class? Where are the others in the class? Yes, absolutely, Dimite and Rajagopal. It increases the surface area of the stomach. Exactly like the structure rugae, there is a particular structure. Invaginations present in the small intestine, which you will call it as a villi. Yes, villi. So we are going to go in detail with the things happening inside the stomach. Yes, guys, the stomach has 3 different kinds of cells. Yes, we have studied about the 3 different kinds of cells. So in the stomach, the hydrochloric acid is produced by the kind of cells, and the pepsin is an enzyme present in the stomach. So these both together, you will call it as the gastric juice. So HCl along with the hydrochloric acid along with the enzyme pepsin. Along with the enzyme pepsin together, you will call it as the gastric juices. So pepsinogen is an inactive form. Pepsinogen is actually the inactive form which is produced inside the stomach. Pepsinogen is the... Yes, Raman, absolutely. Your answer is also correct. Yes, pepsinogen is an inactive enzyme. Pepsinogen is actually an inactive enzyme. Okay, it is first changed into pepsin, which is an active form. Guys, always nogen, pepsinogen, trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, all these things indicates inactive state. Whenever an enzyme, most nearly 90% you can just remember it like that. If the term of the enzyme contains a nogen, the word nogen, then it would be an inactive state of that enzyme. Then you remove that nogen, you will get the active form of the enzyme, that is pepsinogen, converted into active pepsin. Very important question. Very, very important question. Okay. Here, everyone. So the parietal cells, the HCl is produced by, we studied about the 3 different kinds of cells present in the stomach, and HCl is produced by the parietal cells. HCl is formed from the parietal. The large and the deeply seated parietal or acidic or oxygenatic cells produce HCl, and pepsinogen is produced by the peptic cells. Okay, so inside the stomach we have 3 different kinds of cells. The peptic cell produces the inactive form of pepsin, that is pepsinogen, and on the pepsinogen HCl will act and converts the pepsinogen into pepsin. Yes, and guys, tell me, what is the function of pepsin? What is the function of this pepsin? This pepsin act on the proteins. The pepsin act on the proteins and converts it into proteases and peptones or peptides. Very, very, very important. 100% guaranteed MCQ for NEET 2021 or 2022. You might receive a question from this directly. So guys, if you're clear with this, give me hearts on the screen. One more important point. In the stomach, protein digestion begins. In the stomach, protein digestion begins. Okay, protein digestion begins in the stomach, and the starch digestion begins in the buccal cavity or our mouth itself. If you're clear with this, everyone. Yes, ready for a question? Ready for a question, everyone? Ready for a question? 1 year, this kind of a question. Nila, are you over here? Nila, are you here? Calvin, are you here? Guys, 1 year, a question came like this. Ready for the question, everyone? Yes. 1 year, a question like this comes for our NEET examination. Okay, 1 year NEET examination. I'm not remembering the year correctly. That's why I'm not telling which year it was asked. So 1 year it was asked, if the parietal cells of the stomach, if the parietal cells of the stomach, if the parietal cells of the stomach becomes, if the parietal cells of the stomach becomes non-functional, if the parietal cells of the stomach becomes non-functional, what is likely to happen? What is likely to happen? Tell me. Tell me, guys. Option number A, fat digestion would not take place. Fat digestion would not take place. Option B, protein digestion would not take place. Protein digestion would not take place. Option C, starch digestion would not take place. And option D, vitamin digestion would not take place. Which is the answer? Is it B, C, or D? If the parietal cells of the stomach remains non-functional, which of the following condition would likely to be happening? Is it fat digestion would be affected, protein digestion would be affected, starch digestion would be affected, vitamin digestion would be affected? Tell me, option A, B, C, or D. This is a previous year question, guys. Previous year NEET MCQ. A previous year NEET MCQ, I already told you, previous year NEET MCQ. What's there to think, guys? What's there to think? Tell me. Tell me the answer. Yes, I received protein from Rajagopal. What about others? Option B again. Yes, guys, absolutely. If the parietal cells, what is the function of parietal cells? Tell me. What is the function of parietal cells? Guys, fast. We don't have time. Enough time in front of us. It's 9:30 now. Give me the function of parietal cells fast. Parietal cells. This could be a quick recap for everyone also. If the parietal cells, what is the function of parietal cells? Yes, guys, what is the function of parietal cells? Fast on the chat box. In a simple sentence, tell me. What is the function of parietal cells or acidic cells or oxygenatic cells? It helps in the secretion or it helps in the production of HCl. It helps in the production of HCl. And what is the function of HCl? HCl converts pepsinogen. HCl act on pepsinogen to convert it into pepsin. And indirectly, what is the function of pepsin? Pepsin act on the protein. Pepsin act on the protein. Pepsin act on the protein to convert it into proteases and peptones or the peptides. Proteases and peptides. So, if the parietal cells of the stomach becomes non-functional, protein digestion would definitely be affected. A twisting question. Yes? Back to the class, everyone. Back to the class. Yes. So that is all about this particular slide. I hope it's very fine and clear to everyone. Yes? Fine. Next important thing. In infants, what is infants? The baby, the newborn babies, right? So in the newborn babies, the prorenin, I already told in the very first class, that is pro also indicates inactive state. In 90% of the enzyme, pro also indicate inactive state. So we studied two terms which represents inactive. If the term ends with nogen, it also indicates that enzyme is inactive. And if the word begins with pro, yes, Cassell's intrinsic factor. Absolutely, Rajagopal. It's also correct. Cassell's intrinsic factor for the synthesis of vitamin B12 is also secreted by the parietal cells or the oxygenatic cells. Fine. I hope these all things you might have known. Yes? Yes. So this is also an inactive enzyme, prorenin. The HCl act on the enzyme prorenin to convert it into active renin. Guys, the spelling very, very important. The spelling is very, very important. Whenever we prepare a question also, we just get confused whether it is RININ or RINNIN. It is RENNIN. It is RENNIN is the answer. Okay. So casein is that is one digestion, one conversion taking place. So they will be asking you, name the enzyme that helps in the digestion of milk in the infants. Name the enzyme present in the stomach that helps in the digestion of milk in infants. It is renin. Renin is the enzyme. Renin is the enzyme that helps in the digestion of milk. The milk contains a particular kind of a sugar called lactose. So the renin helps in the digestion of the lactose. If it is in case of infants, name the enzyme that helps in the digestion of milk in case of humans. In humans, it is pepsin. Okay, pepsin helps in the conversion of milk in humans or the adult. Okay, and renin helps in the conversion of milk in infants. Casein is the milk protein. The renin converts the casein into para-casein. Casein converted into para-casein with the help of renin. The para is acted upon by the calcium ions to convert it into curd or calcium para-caseinate. Guys, all these two things not needed. I'll explain only the things which your NCERT demands for. Okay, then the gastric lipase hydrolyzes a small amount of lipids, but it is not significant. Guys, this is not in a very large amount. Gastric lipase is really small. A minute amount of fats will only get digested in the stomach. Fine. Are you clear with the topics? Renin helps in the conversion of milk in case of infants, and this renin converts a milk protein casein into para-casein part, that is a small intestine. Digestion in the small intestine. Guys, give me thumbs up on the screen if you are enjoying the class. If you want any other changes, please tell me on the chat box. Can we move forward like this? I'm explaining each and everything. Yes? Guys, also watching the session, don't forget to like the session. I don't know why there is a demand for the dislike, but I'm not bothered about it. Okay. Fine, guys. Next is the digestion occurring in the small intestine. So we know that small intestine mainly has three main parts: duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Yes, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Duodenum is the C-shaped portion. Duodenum is the C-shaped portion of the small intestine, or it is the first part of the small intestine. We already studied that chyme is the acidic pasty food which is formed inside the stomach, that is mixed with the bile juice, pancreatic juice, and the intestinal juice. Guys, intestinal juice is succus entericus. In the last class I told you, succus entericus. Guys, I'll made you available the playlist of each things in the description box from the next class onwards. Yes, right from which all chapters we completed, we would try to include the PDF of all those things in the class in the description box. Fine, everyone. Yes. So the chyme, which is the food present inside the stomach after protein digestion, it is coming into the small intestine and mixed with the bile juice, pancreatic juice, and intestinal juice, or the succus entericus. Okay, and it will convert it into a pasty form. And in the small intestine, bile is also forming. Bile is coming from the liver. Yes, so this bile helps in the emulsification of fat. Emulsification means conversion of large fat globules into tiny droplets of fats for easier absorption. For easier absorption and assimilation. Assimilation means utilization by the body. Look, this would be generally the fat globules. This would be generally the fat globule. This fat globule is attacked by the bile salt and converting it into emulsified fat droplets in a very simple units, which is necessary for providing a larger surface area for the action of lipase on fat. So guys, as the size decreases, the surface area increases. So bile also activates the lipase. Very important slide. Very important. So emulsification of fat is done by the enzyme known as the bile. Fine, everyone. Yes. Next one on your screens. Next is action of pancreatic juice. Action of pancreatic juice is our next topic. Amylopsin, another term for pancreatic amylase. Another term for pancreatic amylase, it is amylopsin, which is also referred to as the pancreatic amylase, helps in the remaining starch into disaccharides. In the buccal cavity itself, we converted a small amount of 30% of starch into disaccharides. The balance of it is converted into disaccharides in the pancreas. Not in the pancreas, sorry, not in the pancreas, in the small intestine. By the action of an enzyme secreted by pancreas, that is amylopsin or pancreatic amylase. Yes, that is the only thing which you have to study. So in the buccal cavity, the starch is converted into disaccharides or polysaccharides converted into disaccharides with the help of salivary amylase or talin. The rest is 70% of the polysaccharides is converted into disaccharides by amylopsin or pancreatic amylase. This is a very important table. All the things at a glance we are going to discuss. Action of pancreatic juice. Enterokinin or enteropeptidase. Enterokinin or enteropeptidase present in the intestinal juice activates the trypsinogen into active trypsin. So we already discussed that if an enzyme coming with the term nogen, it is an inactive enzyme, and that would be converting into trypsin by the enterokinin secreted or present in the intestinal juice converts inactive trypsinogen into active trypsin. And what is the function of trypsin? Trypsin activates chymotrypsin and procarboxypeptidases into carboxypeptidases. Guys, are you all getting the point? Those who are hearing all these things for the first time, are you all getting the point? Pratipa, are you getting? Dima, Rajagopal, Raman, Calvin, Little Explorer. Are you all getting the point? Nila, everyone? Are you all getting the points? Give me thumbs up on the screen if you're understanding what is meant in the class. Fine. Thank you. Trypsinogen. What is the function of trypsinogen? Trypsinogen is converted into active trypsin with the action of enteropeptidase. Guys, write and study. I would tell, write 5 or 10 times and study this conversion. Just I'll erase everything. Just take a screenshot of the slide, anyone. Anyone in the class can take the screenshot and share it in the group right now. Who will do that? Just take a screenshot, because this table, if you write and study this table itself, it's most important and it's fine and perfect for everyone, because it's very easy to understand, to make you understand the table. Yes? Who will do that? Raman, will you do that? Take a screenshot and share it in the... Yes, Rajagopal has done that. Thank you so much. Trypsinogen is converted into trypsin by the enzyme known as enterokinin. There is no other explanation which I could give you, because all these things are very minute things happening inside our body which we got it. Then the inactive enzyme chymotrypsinogen is converted into chymotrypsin with the help of an enzyme known as trypsin. Then procarboxypeptidase is converted into carboxypeptidase with the help of an enzyme known as trypsin. Then, so all these three are the protein digesting enzyme. Guys, make sure you are understanding all these things are the protein digesting enzymes. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, procarboxypeptidase, that is trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, all these things are the protein digesting enzymes. So we already got a certain amount of peptones and proteases in the stomach itself. So the remaining proteins along with the peptones and proteases is converted into the simplest unit, that is a dipeptides, with the help of these three active enzymes, that is trypsin, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidase. Fine, got it everyone? Yes, trypsin, chymotrypsin and procarboxypeptidase is converting proteins, peptones and proteases into dipeptides. Next is The lipase present inside the intestinal juice or the succus entericus converts fat into diglycerides. And again the lipase act on it and converts it into monoglycerides. Next is the action or the digestion of nucleic acid. Enzyme known as nucleases act on nucleic acid and converts it into nucleotide. I hope you are clear. If you are clear, comment me it's okay on the chat box. It's okay, fine, or clear. Just type any of the three words and tell me on the chat box if this slide is clear to you, because these are the things which you need to by heart. I cannot have any easy tricks for this. Yes, I'm helping you to read out each and every term and telling you what is their function. Yes, Rajagopal, it's okay for him. What about others? Pratipa and all? Aman? Is it okay? Can we move with the next one? Any doubt you can ask me. Right now, I'm here to help you. Others are having a doubt. Yes? Not clear for Pratipa, Aman, Dima and all, not clear? Okay, fine and perfect. So you have to study this today itself. No keeping up for tomorrow. Take a screenshot of, I'll tell which all things you have to study. Guys, no need to study all these things, okay? I'll tell which all things you have to study. This thing you have to study. Dipeptides. Dipeptides is converted into amino acid. You know that the absorbable, the digested product of amino acid, digested product of protein is amino acid. Yes, so this is an important thing. Please take it down in your NCERT or your notebook. Then maltose is converted into glucose by the enzyme called maltase. Guys, it's very easy to study the name of these enzymes. Dipeptides, dipeptidase, you have to add ASE. Maltose, maltase, lactose, lactase, sucrose, sucrase. This is very important. Nucleotides is converted into nucleosides with the help of nucleotidase. Then nucleosides is converted into sugar and bases with the help of nucleosidase. Nucleosidase. Very important one. Next one, diglycerides and monoglycerides are converted into fatty acids and glycerol with the help of lipases. Is it easy? Is it easy? This is all the tricks which I could tell you, but it's not actually a trick, it's a thing. Dipeptides, dipeptidase. Maltose, maltase. Lactose, lactase. Sucrose, sucrase. Nucleotides, nucleotidase. Nucleosides, nucleosidase. Diglycerides, monoglycerides, lipase. Hope you are getting the point. Yes. Next. In large intestine, there is no significant digestive activity. But guys, there is certain amount of digestion taking place, but not so significant. There is a one part in the alimentary canal where no digestion takes place. Can any one of you tell me the part name? Where no digestion takes place, no process of digestion takes place over there. No process of digestion takes place in that part of the alimentary canal. Can anyone tell me? This you can have or refer this diagram. Because when we discussed about the digestion of food, we haven't talked anything about that part. Let me check who is going to give me the answer first. What's there to think, guys? What's there to think so much? Give you 5 seconds for this question. Yes? Intestine, I told you. Yes, I hope you are not clear with that. Guys, the answer is esophagus. In esophagus, there is no digestion of food taking place. There is no digestion of food taking place. Yes? Pradip, I hope it's clear now. In large intestine, there is no significant digestive activity. There is no a large amount of digestive activity taking place. But there is a few amount of digestion taking place for reabsorption of water, fat, complete digestion. Everything is completed in the digestive tract in the large intestine. Yes, I hope Pratipa is fine and clear for you. To everyone, okay. So please be clear. There are those portions which you missed, you might have seen the replay. Okay, no issue for that. Next is the functions of large intestine. The main function of large intestine, it is the absorption. Guys, if you listen carefully in the class, taking down each and every question that I ask, taking down each and every point that I ask, all these things if you are doing, you will definitely be able to do so much of MCQs by yourself. Because I have been referring, 2020 students may be knowing, or if you search the community page and the video of BioPoint itself, you will be knowing how many questions we did. 90 questions in one class, we did 30 questions in the class, we did 50 question NEET mock test, abhyas paper, so many types. So I don't know, I don't even cannot recall all those things. At the end, from January 2022, we'll also be doing all these things. NT Abhyas paper, then about the sciences year, mission MPBS, everything, aim for NEET, all these things we'll be doing. Yes, guys. Significant digestive activity means there is no specific enzyme action. There is no specific enzyme action like HCl or pepsin, trypsin, all the lipase, all these things are not there in the large intestine. Actually, most of the nearly 99% of digestion is completed in the small intestine, but the food has to move to the large intestine in order to have the absorption process. In order to have the absorption process. So before that, a small amount of fat digestion, or the fat should be converted into small droplets. All these things will be happening. A small, not a very large amount of digestion, but a very few, which we cannot call it to be digestion, but yes, there is a small amount of digestion taking place. But in the esophagus, there is no digestion taking place at all. It just acts as a passage for the transfer of food. Fine, everyone. Yes. So the large intestine secrete mucus for adhering the waste. The undigested particle have to move through. The undigested particle have to move. The undigested particle have to move through the large intestine easily, and thus lubricating it for an easy passage. The fully digested semi-fluid or alkaline food in the small intestine, you will call it as the chyle. Don't get confused. We studied three different terms: bolus, chyme, and now it is chyle. The food enters into the large intestine. From the small intestine, it is chyle. Bolus, chyme, and chyle. Three different food. Three different names given to the food item entering each part. Next is regulation. Next is the regulation of. Pratibha, is it clear what is meant by the significant digestive activity now? Can we move forward? Next is the regulation of the digestive activity. The digestive activity, like the gastric and the intestinal secretions, are controlled by the neural and hormonal mechanism. Neural and hormonal mechanism. Yes, the sight, smell, or presence of food in the buccal cavity stimulate the salivary secretions. Is it? Not chyme, not chyme. Okay. In the small intestine, the spelling, look at the spelling, it is chyle, Chyle. Chyle is the food that passes from the small intestine. Chyme is the food that passes from the stomach. From the stomach. Bolus is the food that passes from the esophagus. Please, that's why I told you. I'm very sure that you will get confused. Chyle, chyme. Exactly like this, the other term, renin, Renin, renin. Yes. So gastric and the intestinal mucosa, we studied about the 3 or 4 different layers of the histology of the alimentary canal: serosa, muscularis, mucosa, submucosa. So in the mucosa layer, it secretes certain digestive hormone. It secretes certain digestive hormones, and they control the secretion of the digestive juices. Fine, everyone. Guys, can we stop the class for the day? Yes. I'll show you what all things are there for you to study for the next class. Fine, everyone. I hope today's class is very clear. We did only a very small topic. Okay, I have to explain. I explained it 3 or 4 times in order to make you clear about the topic. In the next class, we'll be studying about the absorption of digested product. I hope to complete this chapter today itself and to begin with breathing in the next class. But no, I'll go for with this itself in the next class. So we'll be discussing all these things. And we have yet another small portion at last, that is the disorders of the digestive system. Yes, about kwashiorkor, vomiting, diarrhea, jaundice, constipation, all these things also we have in the class to discuss. Fine, everyone. So I'm giving you time to start practicing the chemistry MCQs. Okay, chemistry MCQs. Nila, don't worry, just watch it. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, I'll explain it. Fine, everyone. Can we end today's class? Guys, after this class, we will be moving out with the quick recap of the chapter, the quick recap of the entire chapter. At that time, I would be just telling about the important points only. Okay? Yes. This much things I am doing. And after that, one thing more I have to tell you. One thing more. Guys, this is something which we'll be doing after our chapter ends. NEET 2017. NEET 2017. These questions also we'll be doing. Yes? These are some of the questions that I plan to make you do, the previous year questions. Yes? So thank you all for your wonderful cooperation. Bye-bye. Take care. Okay. See you in the next class.